Today we're talking all about marketing on TikTok, Discord, and what should your marketing budgets look like as an artist?
Live the life you love.
So we have an exciting new format for the show that we're going to test out. And for the last few months, one of my amazing students has been working with me for Making Academy and with the artist management ventures, and she is going to start joining me as a co-host. So we don't know if we're going to do it weekly. We're going to do a couple times a month. We'll see where it goes, but we're going to have some fun variety with the podcast and with the YouTube channel, from the quick tips to the interviews and some variety news shows about all things marketing, music industry, entrepreneurship, finance, and I'm gonna try to not throw in politics so I don't get myself canceled. But anyways, Sarah, welcome. You want to say a quick hello and give a little bit of your background?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Sarah. I've been working in the music and events industry for almost 5 years now. I was traveling all around doing music festivals, sporting events, everything of the sort, and now I'm here back working with Chris, just like the old days, about like
Good old
five
days.
years ago we used to do this. So yeah, so I'm excited.
Awesome. So you lined up some articles for today, right? We had a
Yeah.
list of articles we looked through, and they're basically about those topics I mentioned in the beginning in the intro. So TikTok, Discord, and just marketing budgets in general for musicians. So where are we starting? Tee it off.
Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen here.
And then for anyone that's listening on audio, right? So there will be a definite video component if you want to see the articles. But I don't think you'll need to. We'll try to add enough context where you can still listen to the audio version and get enough value out of all that. But let me see. I need to add your screen to the stream.
Okay, looks good.
Cool. So TikTok is running everything. What's that about? So that's an article about Jason
Okay,
Derulo and I forget the other artist. Frank Harris. Is that his manager? Or
Jason Derulo and his manager, yeah, Frank. Yeah, so this article is TikTok is running everything right now. That's all everybody's talking about. And for Jason Derulo, in my opinion, and in this article's opinion, to be fair, it's basically just gone over how his career kind of took a standstill in 2020. So pre-COVID, he lost his deal with Warner, and nobody wanted to take him. Him and his manager went all around, and nobody wanted him. So they started making videos on TikTok. He started getting some followers, and then basically they went and talked to TikTok and were like, "We're really serious about this." So instead of just being good, because we all know Jason Derulo can dance and do all of
Mhm.
those things, they decided to be the best. So he's now one of their top creators, and it has totally revamped his career. And now all of the labels want to work with him. And I believe he's now signed a new deal with Atlantic.
Oh,
So
awesome. Do you hang out on TikTok at all? Or
I go on TikTok once in a while. I have friends that send me videos all the time. But I also use Reels on Instagram,
Mhm.
and I end up seeing TikToks that make it over there. So I do watch a lot of TikToks just because they're also on Instagram a lot. But yeah, I spend a bit of time on the app, not too much.
It's not just all dancing, right? Like what other kind of content do you feel like at least grabs your attention? Because you're someone that's big into music and listens to a
Yeah.
lot of artists, pays attention to what artists do. What do you feel like works well, at least in grabbing your attention on TikTok besides the dancing stuff?
I like anything they're like singing videos, as plain as that sounds. I have a friend that's, become quite famous off of TikTok, or I just see things like that. They have funny little challenges. There's funny videos. There's whatever I'm seeing, honestly. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's educational stuff that, like, my favorites are the things you never knew that you've been doing wrong your whole life. And it's
Mhm.
just like, whoa, like, how did I not know that? So there's a lot going on there. But yeah, anything with music is good. There's people that have started these creator houses for musicians instead of just like, YouTube type creator houses like that. So they all sing together and all those things. So those are cool.
So one thing I noticed in the article that got my attention is either I think they were asking him if TikTok is like the new place where artists are going to get discovered and get record deals and everything. And what he talked about is really important for artists to know. I think is he was talking about just because TikTok's blowing up doesn't mean that artists necessarily are going to be successful and build long-term careers. But right now, the labels are basically capitalizing on the fact that people have large followings and they're going to try to monetize that, right? So it's at the end of the day, that's what labels care about. If you have a big following and you could monetize that following, that's what they're attracted to, right? So it's very deceiving. So because the advice for artists out there is, just because TikTok is a platform where artists are getting signed from doesn't necessarily mean you should be there. And it also doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna have a great record deal from that, because those record deals are probably gonna be horrible. And it's gonna be these very label favorite deals, especially if you're not actually bringing in real revenue yet, right? So let's say you're on TikTok, you have a ton of followers, and you're bringing in your own money already, like you're bringing in 100, $200,000 a year. You have some leverage. But if you just have the followers and not really the revenue stream, the label's going to try to create that revenue stream for you, and if they can't, they're just going to drop you. So just still be careful, like the artists out there, like be careful that you don't get into a crappy label deal and get some kind of label to take advantage of you. But and it's and the time will tell if TikTok is the place where artists are going to get signed from. And I can say from my classes, you know, YouTube and Instagram is still where it's at right now, and Spotify. But most college students, if you're trying to reach that college market, it's those three platforms. So YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, um, and just the only advice I would give is, just because TikTok is kind of a popular rising platform right now doesn't mean you should be on it. You need to be on the platforms that are most natural to you, the way you communicate, the way you like to create content. So yeah, just some things I wanted to add there. But if you are going to be on TikTok, you can promote now on TikTok, right? So Sarah, you want to tell us about that?
Yes, which leads us to our next article. So, as most people know, Facebook and Instagram and YouTube are places where it's very easy and most efficient, I would say, to promote your ads. And Facebook for just the general user, you'll see sometimes it'll pop up where you can boost a Facebook post, and you're like, why do I need to do that? Sort of thing. If it's just your regular Facebook. But if you are promoting something, you have a page where you want to be promoting something, this is a good way to reach new audiences. So TikTok has just added this feature, which makes it really easy because it pops up as a promotion option, and you just add a little bit of money in, and you're reaching more audience. You can get more website views, as you see, um, all of those things.
And this is an article from Social Media Examiner, right? How to use TikTok
Yeah,
promote to reach new audiences. And
yeah,
Social Media Examiner is a really great resource. Like they have really great in-depth articles. That's where I learned a lot of my stuff for marketing. Um, so this promote button, this is not through the back end, right? It's kind of like Instagram. I'm
yeah.
assuming.
This would be like when you're on Instagram and you see a notification where promote this post to get more followers or more views. So basically, you tailor it to what you want. Do you want more views? Do you want more website visits? Do you want more followers? It's whatever you're looking to achieve,
Mhm.
you can make happen here.
Okay, so it looks like you have three options. So it's video views, traffic ads, and then follower ads, right? So, and
Yeah.
I guess you can build the audiences directly from that as well. Like, so
Sorry.
so you can build the audience directly from the promote button, so it's not like
Yeah,
Instagram,
you pick
Facebook.
who you want to promote to, for sure. Yeah,
Cool.
just it would I don't think it's going to be as in depth as Facebook is, how you can create your customer audience, down to every last detail. But you
Mhm.
can definitely narrow down what you want.
Are you familiar with the Creative Juice podcast?
No.
No. So the Creative Juice podcast is like a really good music marketing podcast. One of my favorites. Another resource I learned a lot from, and one of their hosts, Corinne, that used to be on the podcast, she sadly left. She's like, I feel like, I mean, they're all great, but Corinne, I feel like was like the marketing like genius. And her and Circa that started it, but um, in one of their episodes, pretty recent, it was like maybe 2-3 months ago, as of this recording, she tested the ads, right? So it's cool that TikTok has that feature now, and definitely test it. But you wanna can you did you see in the article if you can test locations, like, or target locations? Or because I feel like I only saw you can target interests, and you can target age groups, and then like gender. Was there?
No, I didn't see.
Okay. I didn't see that either. So the thing that Corinne kind of just warned about, like, so through the back end portion of TikTok, you can choose locations just like any other ad platform. But so even though you're picking like United States that you want your ads to run in the US, doesn't necessarily mean that's where your ads are being shown. So when she looked at her analytics, she got a lot of clicks from, I believe she said Taiwan and Singapore. And the thing you have to watch out for sometimes with these app platforms is it real people clicking, or is it like click farms, right? Or bots that are clicking your ads? And so she looked at the data, and there's a few different things you can do. So if you did a traffic ad, right? So you have the video views that you mentioned and the follower features or ads. But if you did a traffic ad, let's say you wanted to send people from TikTok to your Spotify, um, and on Spotify you can't retarget. So in retargeting, if you want to retarget people that click on the ad, there's a platform. This is not the only one. I'm not promoting ToneDen, and they don't sponsor the show, but ToneDen is pretty cool. It's kind of expensive. I think you can also use Linktree. I don't have a subscribe or a subscription version of it, so I don't know what kind of analytics they have. But on ToneDen, it's kind of like a Linktree where people will click on the link and they can choose they want YouTube, Spotify, or wherever they want to listen to the music. And you can embed a Facebook pixel on there, right? So I don't even know if TikTok has pixels, but you could technically embed a Facebook pixel on that. So you could send them from TikTok to ToneDen and then have your Facebook pixel on ToneDen, so you can see the data and then wherever they click to, right? So you can see where they click to after that. And what Corinne noticed when she looked at her data, most of those clicks came from those countries. And then she was like, okay, now let me look at my Spotify for artists to see if I'm getting streams from those countries, which is pretty smart, right? So if you have 1,000 clicks from Taiwan, you want to see if you're getting streams from Taiwan. And she had zero. So she knew that that wasn't converting. And she kind of just assumed that her hypothesis was that those are not real followers, right? So if you're gonna test this out, the TikTok promote button, cool feature and great way to get more views and hopefully get some real followers. But um, definitely check your analytics. Like if they're clicking to something, you want to make sure that first you're able to track like who's clicking and get some data from that, and then see if it's converting on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you're sending them after that. But pretty cool. I'll probably test it out too. If there's any artists out there, especially if you're part of the Making It Academy, I'll drop that banner in there one more time. But especially if you're in the Making It Academy, if you want to test out TikTok ads or the TikTok promote button, let me know. I would love to work with y'all on it and see where those clicks are actually coming from and see if they're legit clicks. What else we got, Sarah?
So next up is marketing budget
How to
for music.
create a marketing budget? Okay, so music marketing budget
Yeah.
in 2021. Anything interesting?
Yes.
So there's a Bandzoogle article. Anything interesting that stood out from that?
So what stands out to me specifically about this article is the time that we're in. So now more than ever, artists are DIY. They're doing things themselves because of the pandemic. So the pandemic hit and everybody realized, oh well, there's no reason for me to be paying someone to help me out. I might as well sit here and learn how to do things by myself. So this one's interesting for me to see how people learn how to deal with that. So this article is basically helping you try to put a financial plan together and figure out where your money should be going to and where it can be coming from and all the different revenue streams. And I know you've talked about that before, Chris, in your videos, how an artist can make money from home. So I
Hmm.
think this kind of lends to that.
Hmm. And it's interesting about this article when I looked through it, like the budget piece, it's not just marketing. It looks like it's slightly misleading. I love the people at Bandzoogle, but it's like I was looking for maybe a deep dive in marketing, but it's a really pretty much a deep dive in just all expenses and revenue streams that an artist might have. So it's definitely a good article, and I'm going to link to all the articles in the YouTube video, and I'll put them in the show notes on the website as well. But great article if you need to learn about budgets, right? So definitely check that out because what kinds of things that were they budgeting for in there?
So basically they're just like showing you like how you can make money and like costs of certain things as an artist. So distribution, merch, those are costs you'll have to spend as an artist, also the recording. And then when you get into live shows, you have to spend money on your equipment, your crew, your travel expenses to get to your shows. I feel like people don't necessarily think of all the little things and don't think they need to necessarily budget.
Hmm.
But they definitely do because you need to promote your music, you need to make graphics for your music, all of these things, ads if you want more people to have eyes on things. So basically, a lot of things you have to be thinking about as an artist. And then all of the ways that you can make music. There's tons of revenue streams that you can make money as an artist, from teaching music to creating music for licensing purposes. So many different avenues you can go down.
Mhm. Yeah, so definitely means very in debt, like a lot of like kind of like definite expenses there are, right, revenue streams. I noticed they even like thought about COVID tests, which that is a real expense. One of the artists I work with, Etern, she just played in Czech Republic or Slovakia. It's so mixed stuff since they separated. I think Slovakia is where she played, and when she flew over there, the only place she could fly in, or the closest place she could fly in, was Austria, and she had to take a COVID test, before going to Austria, and then in Austria, going from there to Slovakia, and then pretty much the same thing going back. And the tests are not free over there, like they're here, so you had to pay. She had to pay for them. Thankfully, the promoter, was as an expensive promoter should have, right? A promoter is flying an artist to another country, then the promoters, of course, should cover any expenses that are associated with that, and they had to cover the COVID test. But that is a real expense. But what I wanted to get to is the marketing piece. It's kind of like a marketing episode. I like it. Is in a recent workshop, I'm not going to go too deep into this because I might do a separate video on this. But we did go over budgets, from how to promote your music with no budget to $100 budgets and up to $1,000 budgets and everything in between, right? And to kind of summarize what that workshop was, and I will do a video on that about that in the future. When you have no budget, I'll throw an article in the notes as well. When you have no budget, there's lots of things you can do with no budget, right? And the three main ways you're going to get new fans is, try to find what your most ideal fan looks like, and then figure out where they're at, and then on how to reach them. And three ways to reach them: you can do it through networking, right? So one thing I always talk about, and I think I did do a recent video on this, but when you're in Miami, right? So you're based in Miami and you're doing your first show ever in Orlando or West Palm. It's about an hour and a half away, right? If you've never played in West Palm before, you're probably not going to have any fans, not like you do in Miami. And the reason you have probably people showing up at your shows in Miami, because you're always hanging out at shows. You probably know people from work, you know people from school, you have your family, right? So you've networked with a group of people. So why not drive to West Palm maybe a couple nights before and go hang out at shows before your show's coming up, and meet some people. And interestingly, Etern's actually doing this without even me telling her. I don't know, maybe she just wanted to get out and get away from Orlando. But she has a show in Jacksonville tomorrow, and she's been there since like 2 days ago. And every night she's going to shows, like the hip hop shows, and meeting people in the hip hop scene, and knows a few people there already because she always does this. And they're probably going to end up going to the show, right? So she's not just playing in
That's
front of
awesome.
the bartender, box office person, and sound person. Um, but with marketing, if so, that's networking. You have your recurring content, right? So creating as much content as you can. And then the last piece is the marketing piece, right? So since this article was about marketing and marketing expenses, the one thing I'll do for this video is I will say, I'm sorry, publicists, but do not hire a publicist at the beginning. Start out with your Instagram or Facebook ads, so know where your audience is at. I'm not going to go into the TikTok ads because I think you should test that. But tried and proven is Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Those ads are proven. They're going to work. You get real stats, real viewers. You can build real fans on those platforms, right? So if you're going to have a marketing budget, split it up between those two first. So let's say you have $100, then choose wherever you feel most of your audience might be, or where you really want to emphasize growing that platform, right? So if you really want to grow Instagram, then run ads on Instagram. If you really want to grow YouTube, run ads there. Then let's say you're at a point where you can run a budget for $10 a day for however long your music marketing campaign is, right? So you want to do at least bare minimum 2 weeks. So $10 a day is $140, and $10 a day is what you want to budget for. And then match that with YouTube ads. So do $10 a day on YouTube if you're starting with Instagram. So now you're going to try to do that for 14 days. You have a $280 budget. Now the next increase from that, I would try to do that for an entire month. So that's $300 per platform, right? If you're doing $10 a day, so that's $300, and that's $600 total. Then the next thing I would do after that is I would, which Sarah actually does. She does all that for me. I really don't even know how to do it that well yet. But I would do SubmitHub. SubmitHub is I mean, and there's other platforms like that out there, but it's a playlisting platform where you can submit your music to playlists. I don't know, do you want to add any about SubmitHub, me, since you're the one that runs it for
Um,
me?
yeah, I mean, those types of sites, there's SubmitHub and there's tons of others that do the same thing. You look them up and you see what's best, and a lot of times they're like, oh, they're not worth it. But in my opinion, just don't throw all of your money at it. Do
Hmm.
small segments. So just for one of our releases that we've done, I did for the same release, I did multiple campaigns so that I can try and test and see what works. And then it ended up paying off for us in that way. So I would work like that.
Hmm. And what do we end up spending on those campaigns? It's not much, right? $40, maybe $50 max.
Yeah, I would say 50 bucks in total, and I separated out the two campaigns I did through that, and we got some pretty good feedback,
Hmm.
whether it was being added to a playlist or getting featured on a blog or a music blog or whatever. So,
Hmm.
and then once you start a relationship with them the first time, when you have a second release, then you can come back to them, and they're just as happy probably to share if they liked your first song.
Mhm. And definitely, the relationship piece, that's a really good thing you mentioned. Um, Definitely, like, share the playlist, right? If someone adds you on their playlist, through SubmitHub, share their playlist, give them a shout out, because one of their goals is to build their followers also, so they can get more artists submitting to their playlist because that's how they make money. But, yeah, SubmitHub is a great platform, right? So if you're doing $10 a day on Instagram or Facebook, $10 a day on YouTube, add SubmitHub to that. I mean, you can even really add that earlier too, since it's only you can do a $20 campaign or $30 campaign. So do that along with those other two. And I would not hire a publicist yet until you have $20 a day on each of those two platforms. So $20 a day on Instagram or Facebook, $20 a day on YouTube for a month. So that's $1,200. Add your Submit Hub on that, so it's 1,300. Then I would consider hiring a publicist. And the reason that is, publicists, they're great and they have great relationships, but you have to make their job easier for them. You have to give them a story. So if you don't have a ton of views or a ton of streams yet, and you're kind of starting from zero, there's not much that a publicist has to work with, right? So if you have a good story, you have good music, and you're promoting your music, and the music is getting streams and it's getting views and it's getting subscribers from that, now the publicist can really leverage that and really maximize the money you're spending. So that's the route I would go, with music marketing. And again, we'll do a more of a deep dive in a later video with that. But I think Sarah has one more article with one of my favorite platforms.
Yep. So the last article is can and should you advertise your brand on Discord? So I feel like maybe not a lot of people know about Discord, but basically, Discord was started for gamers. It was a platform for them to use, but now it's turned into a communication platform for anyone. So a lot of companies are using it. We use it for the Making It Academy. Basically, it's like a type of Slack um, platform that people can talk with their team and send messages and it stays there and all of those things. So it's just a great communication platform where you can now advertise, and this article is just discussing should you and is it worth it.
Mhm, mhm. But I think when I looked at it, it doesn't look like you can actually run ads, right? The advertising on Discord was still more about the content and community building piece of it.
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen ads come across the platform before.
Hmm.
So I just think, is it efficient
Hmm.
to advertise there? I don't know. I don't know that I would particularly use it, but I do think Discord is a great platform to use internally within your company or with
Absolutely.
fans and people you want to reach for sure.
Mhm. It's a great way to just engage with your fans and like people that are into have similar interest and tune out all the noise because if you're on Facebook, even if it's a Facebook group, you still have ads on the side, you have menus on the side. Like there's just a lot of stuff going on, right? On Discord, you can literally just be on there, engage with like-minded people about mutual interest. And I love the platform. Like one of the things I talk about a lot is getting it's interesting because even though it's a third party platform, I like getting people off of the normal social media platforms or traditional social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and building a list and you owning that list, right? And usually I prefer text lists or email lists. Um, but Discord can be a good alternative, right? It's all about knowing your audience and where they prefer to hang out at. Would they prefer to hang out on Discord versus email or texting, right? It'd still be beneficial to get their email list and or their emails or their phone numbers. I did check on our Discord. Like check on our members, you don't have any contact information. So again, if Discord disappeared all of a sudden, you lose all those followers. Like, everything you've built is gone. So that's why I still like email lists and text messages, because even if your Mailchimp account gets canceled, you still have all those emails, right? So you can transfer those to Constant Contact or wherever else you want to email people from, or you just email them from your Gmail, put them on a spreadsheet. So but Discord's awesome. Anyone that is on Twitch, since it is more set up for, I guess, that gamer world, anyone that's on Twitch should definitely have a Discord channel to go along with their marketing strategies or the ways they communicate with their fans. And really anyone where it's relevant, right? If you have a younger audience, I'm sure they're going to be really into Twitch. And one interesting last thing I'll say is the gaming world. So I'm teaching a gaming course this semester, and I've never really been in the gaming world, but they need somebody to teach it, and I kind of stepped up. And I had no idea that the gaming industry makes way more money than music, TV, and movies combined. Like in the 80s, it was like the gotta be careful you say these days. It was the part of the entertainment industry that nobody cared about, right? Like if you look at the revenue, it was like music up, TV, movie shows, or TV and movies up, and games is like this little tiny sliver of the entertainment industry, and it slowly started growing in the 90s, but still like nothing. Like nobody really cared about games, and then in the last 20 years, it exploded. I'm sure it's because of the internet, because of cell phones. The other day in class, I said with this ad stuff, like gamers tend to be way more techie. So all the data that comes along with ads is probably very attractive to the gamers, and they're probably going to really know what to do with that data. But the gaming industry just blew up. So gaming music is a really important element. So that's why I feel like Twitch is a really great platform for musicians. And if you can build an audience there, you should definitely have a Discord channel to go along with your Twitch channel. So really cool platform. Watch some tutorials online how to set up um, all your channels on your server and everything. You can do a lot with it. You can even have a paywall behind some of your folders, right? So imagine just this, if nobody's ever been on Twitch, you have a server, and then within the server you have all these different folders, and you can select certain folders that you can only access through a paywall, right? So if you had a Patreon or even Twitch, you can have paid subscribers where only your paid subscribers get to see the entire server, and then everybody else can just be on the free part of the server. So really, really great platform. I definitely enjoy it.
Yeah,
I
I
would,
definitely think it's beneficial if you learn how to use it and put in the time to it, just so you don't have the, like you said, like drowning out the noise of your email. So yes, have those things, but it also you can, put little groups together, and the messages will always be there and people can chat, and not everybody has to be there at the same time, and they can go catch up. So I just think it's cool to have like a little community type thing
mhm.
on there.
Yeah, I mean, if you can build a community around your music, it's gonna make the brand so much more powerful. Because when you have a community, like people, when you have a live show, people are not just coming to see you; they're coming to see their friends on Discord that they've been connecting with, and it's you're gonna build so much more of a loyal fan, like when you build a community around your music. Because when let's say Sarah and I have an artist that we both love, and we're gonna plan to, I don't know, meet up in Nashville to go see this artist, and we're gonna go hang out. We're gonna do stuff. We're gonna go grab drinks before the show. Then we're going to the show, and we're all excited because now we're not going alone or dragging someone to the show that doesn't really want to be there. Like, it's just gonna create so much more of a fun environment. So definitely look into Discord and building and ways to build communities around your music. And that's all we got, I think. How do we do on our first episode?
I think we did great. So,
Of course, you did great.
like, who's gonna tell us we didn't?
Awesome. Well, if anyone that's listening, hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of that. Y'all got a lot of value out of that. And if you want to make a full-time living in the music business as an artist, manager, promoter, or you're in a venue, we do have our Making It Academy. You can find it at patreon.com/Making It Academy. And we have a few different levels. I mean, if you just want us to create more content like this and the quick tips and the podcasts, and you want to help me be able to hire Sarah full time, and you just pinch in $1, do $1 a month. It's nothing. If you don't have anything to give, then leave some comments on the video and give us a subscribe and hit the bell. That all helps out too. And then once you get to the point, if you want to contribute, you can do $1 a month. Or if you want to get access to the content, we do 2 live monthly workshops. Those are $20 a month. And we really engage with the people. I mean, it's not just, we're not just selling y'all some snake oil stuff. And Sarah's recently joined. I mean, what have you gotten so far out of the workshops? How do you feel people are enjoying them and the value they're getting out of them?
My favorite thing, besides, the content is very valuable because you've been in the industry for so long and you've done almost everything and learned a lot. Um, Besides that part, it's having like accountability with a group of people also going through the same thing that you're going through. Maybe they're not in the same part of the industry, but maybe they are, and maybe they're going through the same issues, and you can troubleshoot with them as well. So just having people like that, and they talk through Discord. We even have the accountability group where people can keep an eye on each other and everything. And it's just nice to be able to share that with people that like-minded people, I would say. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
yesterday's workshop, we we literally dug through, whoever shows up, like, everybody gets access to the recordings. So at a $10 level, you get access to recordings if you can't join live. But if you're there live, like I literally I know everyone there. Like I will, and the more people show up live, the more I get to know them, right? So I start calling on them, like, hey, like what are your goals? What are you currently working through? So yesterday we literally spent a half hour working on one of artists, like kind of just vision. It seemed like he had an idea of a few different directions he wanted to go into, and it seemed like we were able to workshop through like literally a pretty good plan for this artist. So hopefully they follow through with it, and we'll see where that goes. But it's been really fun. It's also an opportunity for venues and promoters to hear from artists and hear some perspectives on how to develop an artist. And I feel like venues and promoters should have other revenue streams besides shows, because if there's no shows, how are you going to make money? Artist management is a great way, and there's a lot of advantage of an artist be working with promoters and venues because they have access to the industry, right? And for the promoters and venues, it's also great for them to see what other challenges promoters and venues have. We literally go through offers, we go through forecasts, all kinds of stuff. So check it out. I feel like it's really high value for just $20 a month. And if you want to come join, check one out. Let us know. We'll love to invite you. But thank y'all for watching. Sarah, you have any last words, and where could people connect with you if they wanted to connect with you?
Yeah, I'm everywhere on social media for the most part. Instagram at the Sarah Solomon. You could put that in notes or something, I'm sure.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the best place to connect with me and chat with me. Other than that, I think the academy is of great value if you're trying to break into this industry. So I would at least have a look. That's all I gotta say.
Awesome. And then the way I always sign off is spread love, positivity, and kindness in the world, and go see shows, meet people, make stuff. Peace, everyone.
Live the life you love.